All right, just a couple game status updates. We've got two players ruled out, Blake Cashman and Caleb Evans, and then TJ, Aaron Jones, Patrick Jones, Harrison Phillips, and Dalton Reisner, all questionable for the game. I know there would be a couple accompanying moves with a couple of those guys in the window right now. We're going to kind of meet as a staff and with Tyler and his group, just kind of figure out what's best. And we'll keep you guys posted on that after getting through a really good week of work. Been a good practice week and like where our team's at. Very excited for the challenge and, re-emphasizing just how much our home field means to us, the environment we have there, expecting our fans to be the same as they always are, which is phenomenal. But really good team coming in. We need a great environment to make it as hard as we can on them this weekend. Also, been meaning to kind of highlight the Gophers, man. Coach Fleck and the group, I know they're on a bye week this week, but they've been, taking down two California teams. Most recently, they're having themselves a really good season. Just want to highlight what he's doing over there, as well as I know between JJ and some of our other players, pretty darn excited about the Lynx as well. I know they're in a grinded out series to try to win themselves a championship. So awesome stuff going on. Just glad to be a part of it here in an unbelievable environment with the best fan base in our league, I know for sure, in the National Football League. But go ahead, fire away.
When it comes to Dalton Reisner, I guess, what have you seen from him coming back? And he was practicing on the right side during training camp. Do you feel like he's a guy that can kind of play either side if you need him?
Yeah, and that the purpose behind that, Matt, was he's predominantly played on that left side in his career when he was here, when we got him, and then also previously. So we want to get him as many reps on that right side as well, as to kind of balance out whatever as we move forward, what the best fit for the best five guys we can put out there. Our offensive line's been a huge catalyst for us, running the football and obviously helping, doing their part in the pass pro against some really good fronts here early on in the season. So we want to make sure that stays competitive throughout, and we end up with the best five, no matter what the week is, dealing with whatever adversity from an injury standpoint that may pop up. But Dalton's been doing well. He's definitely healthy and working every single day to be right there in the mix. I'm really proud of the way Dalton's handled the whole situation.
Do you anticipate the same offensive line coming out at the start of the game?
As of right now, that's part of the conversation, as far as, because we would have to make a roster move to make that happen, and we'll work through that today.
Is the Jones plan to have him get out Sunday on the field a little bit before the game and make a decision off of that?
Yeah,
what's that plan?
He got some good work in today, and actually, 2 really good days of work. We're going to talk right now, and I always have dialogue with those guys about what kind of the plan of attack is, whether it's just going to be he's up and rolling, or we still need to see anything on game day. But I know he's prepared. I know he's ready to roll, and we'll see how he feels as we work through the weekend.
Does the quick turnaround factor there, because you play Sunday and then Thursday again, like when you're making decisions about a guy like this, does that turnaround factor in because it is such a tight window between games as opposed to a week?
It may post game, but as far as like going into a game like this, I think we're just worried about Sunday and the challenge that the Detroit Lions bring. Divisional game at home. We've got to solely focus on this 1-0 opportunity that we have, and it's going to be a heck of a challenge to get it done.
How did Cam Akers look, just reacclimating himself to the offense?
Yeah.
And the playbook?
Yeah, he's been great all week long. He had the benefit of kind of being in a previous system in LA where there's a lot of carryover, and that's what helped him make such an impact in a quick time last year. And it's been kind of similar. Not that it's incredibly identical verbiage and all those things, but wasn't in a uniquely different system in Houston for the short time he was there. And then he picked up right where he left off, and I will say he's moving great. He's one of those guys I've talked about a lot, but his energy, what he brings in the building, just walking the halls, the guy loves football. It's been awesome to have him back around.
With Cam, just the fact that he's now come back from 2 Achilles injuries, just what does that say about him? The fact that he even wanted to go through that process again.
I mean, and not only that, how he's done it too, really coming back, almost better, if that can even be, a reality. Just you can just tell, when you go through that kind of injury and rehab, not just once but twice, and I think you grow a lot as just a man and a human being, and really recognize when the game gets temporarily taken away from you, how much you love it, how much you're willing to do on a daily basis to get that back to that point and through that process. Like I said, he looks great, and he's clearly, back at a really good spot right now.
Where does the injuries rank in terms of, being the head coach and different? You got an opponent, you got your own team, but they having to constantly shift, change, adaptability on a weekly basis, decide who's going to play on Saturday, make moves. Where does that rank in terms of the toughest parts of a job for a coach?
With injuries, I couldn't hear, as far as the first part. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's why, I know throughout the spring and summer, I'm standing up here talking a lot about depth, and a lot of the questions tend to focus on starting positions, and rightly so, but we're focused on whether it's 90 guys, 53 guys, our practice squad, constantly chasing improvement, because over the course of 17 plus weeks, you're going to need a lot of players and guys that can step in limited amount of time and show up and play and help you win. Every team goes through it. Our opponent's going through it. Everybody around the league goes through it. So really, you can't allow it to be anything more than just temporary adversity that you're going to fight through and work through together. And what gives me a lot of peace as we work through it is I do feel strongly about our depth. I do feel strongly about our young players, the guys we've added for key roles, whether it might not be 70, 80 snaps from the first snap of the season, but over the course of 17, we're going to need everybody, and guys understand that, and that's how they work. That's how our team works.
Kevin, with a guy like Kamu, how much was Flo's background with him? How much of a role did that play in you guys identifying a guy like him for depth?
Yeah, as far as I just know that, from the first time his name came up, even my background of going against him, at some different spots, and just knowing the versatility he had as you prepare for an opponent, that was a huge part of it for me, bringing him here. And then, Flo's dynamic and the relationship there, and just it all goes back to fit, Alec. It all goes back to it's great to bring in as many good players as you possibly can, and that's what I think we did. We brought in a lot of really good players that are smart, tough, and love football. But then it's, okay, what's the role going to be, even pre-injury, the guys out there, whether it's, a unique D&D where we think he gives us the best 11 that we can put on the field, or in the event of needing a guy to step up like we just talked about, he's incredibly versatile, a veteran player, smart, great communicator, and fits in with the other 10 guys, no matter whether you're in your base groupings, nickel groupings, whatever it is. And he plays that role, and he can do it snap in and snap out with consistency. That's probably the best thing he's brought, is just that skill set, but consistently doing it regardless of circumstance, whether you're a starter, a role guy, maybe it's teams for one weekend, but he's going to show up on the tape, and I'm going to be showing plays that Kamu's making in front of the team on Monday morning, and that's impactful.
Kevin, just when it comes to Justin, you've talked about the years encouraging him to take the leadership role. I guess I wondered through this 5-0 start, how you've seen that come to fruition of him being obviously more than just a great receiver, but also a leader too.
Yeah, I think it's been you recognize it definitely in that receiver room. I can think back to when Speedy's making, scoring a touchdown a week there early on in the season, but also, everybody saw him celebrating, and he was the most excited on the whole team, I think, when Speedy scored that touchdown against the Giants. But then to that very same point, the following week, you see him put his arm around Jordan as he works through the ankle, and he gets it. He understands his role. He's experienced a lot in this league, especially coming off last year. So now really the first time he had to deal with injury and the adversity that comes with it. And I think he just gets everything about what it means to lead in that room. And now he's doing it even more throughout our football team. And just that group of captains is phenomenal. Whether it's a guy like Sam, who's, almost unanimously voted a captain as a new player here, But as our quarterback, just his role in that leadership by just being the same guy every day and working. And then you've got Jets, you've got BO, you've got CJ, Depot, and then obviously those defensive players that have been incredibly impactful on me as a head coach. I mean, I don't know where I would be without the leadership on this football team this year and previous years as well. So Justin's a huge part of that.